And welcome back to Talking Law TV. I'm Michael Short, and we're here with Doug Andrews, who's going to answer viewer mail.
Let's do it.
All right, Doug, our first one's from Mary in Jessup, who writes to us through our toll-free line, left it online. My son and his wife are going through a divorce. My son has moved to be with his new girlfriend, and my daughter-in-law has a drug problem. My grandson is living with me, but I don't have any papers to enroll him in school or make medical decisions. What can I do?
Sounds like a TV soap opera, doesn't it?
It does.
Let me get this right. They're in a divorce, and son has moved in with a new girlfriend.
Right.
Unless she's a really hot midget. There's no excuse for that.
Well,
he's still married.
Hot little person.
Okay. Even then, it's still not a good idea. You're married until the judge dissolves the marriage. That's point one. Point two is somebody needs to get that mom, her daughter-in-law, some drug treatment. Don't put up with her bad behavior either. Sounds like pretty dysfunctional. So who's the victim of all this? The kid and grandma. Now she has to take on burdens in her senior years. These parents should be ashamed of themselves, and they shouldn't put that burden on grandma, but God bless her for stepping in to help the kid. It is a burden. They need to make her job that she's taking on, make her job as easy as it can be, furnishing her what she needs. Go to probate court, give her guardianship. Parents must both consent, unless she intervenes in the divorce case, to intervene as a grandparent seeking custody in her own right. And if the judge finds that both parents are worthless, and it sounds like you could make a case for that, the judge may give grandma the rights. And guess what goes along with that? Parents will be ordered to pay her child support. And well, they should.
Does that happen often?
Often enough that we see it. It's not real common, but it's not uncommon. Many kids are being raised, as most of our viewers know, many kids are being raised by grandparents, and some great-grandparents. Okay,
our next question is Tim from Afghanistan by Skype through our toll-free line. And yeah, you can watch our program 24/7 online at TalkingLawTV.com.
This is a great country.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for watching, Tim. I'm a soldier and currently deployed to Afghanistan, and I just heard from my neighbor my wife is cheating on me. Can I file for divorce?
Tim, I'm sorry your wife is putting you through this stress. Thank you for your service, but there's no rush. I know you might, if you take that as true, and we don't know for sure it is. Neighbor says it. We don't know what that neighbor's motivation is. But at this moment in Tim's life, his mission and the welfare of his soldiers around him and the safety of each other, watching out for each other's back, is more important than worrying about what the wench is doing back here. If that is what she's doing, God will punish her later, first of all. And secondly, you can end the marriage later when you have time to think about it. I don't suggest you try and do it quickly while you're overseas. It technically can be done. Some judges will let you file an affidavit as proof of the marriage being irretrievably broken. I don't know if she's going to try to clean out your bank account and that sort of thing. So you do have some steps to take to protect yourself monetarily, both with credit cards and financial accounts, and give somebody power of attorney back here to do that if you need to. But hold off on the divorce. It's a very important decision, and that should be addressed later.
Okay, our next question is from Jason from Skidaway Island from the website. I thought the police were not allowed to hide and the vehicle had to be visible when using radar, but I see them at night with no lights on in the dark. Is that legal?
The statute says that the vehicle from which the radar device or speed detection device is being used, the vehicle must be, quote, plainly visible. And I think it's 500 feet. If you measure 500 feet, that's not very far. It's about 1/10 of a mile. It's not that far. And if the street is not lit and a police car has all its lights off, I don't think it is visible, plainly visible. So I think they're in violation of it. I chastised one of our DUI task force officers one time for sitting in the dark like that. And I got a phone call yesterday by a supervisor saying, "What are you harassing my officers for?" I said, "I was just trying to get them to comply with the law. You know, I'm a law enforcement officer too. I don't have a badge and a gun, but I enforce a higher law, the constitutional law." So anyway, I haven't seen them do that lately. if there's a street light, they ought to be under it, or leave their parking lights on or something so that you can identify the police vehicle. But they shouldn't be in a situation where you cannot see it. That's what the statute says, given to us by those folks in Ludowici who had the world-famous speed traps. And there's big billboards last time I went down there. I don't know if they're still there, that warned about Ludowici being a speed trap. I don't think it is anymore, but it's part of their image.
Okay. Our next one, Susan from Savannah, from the toll-free line. I did not know I had a lapse of insurance in my car. When I got stopped, I was given a ticket for suspended registration. I don't understand. What should I do?
All right. Now, if the database in Atlanta does not show that a vehicle is currently insured, they cancel the tag. They suspend your vehicle registration. And they send out notice of it, but if you've moved and not given a change of address, you may not get it. So when you get stopped and the officer checks your insurance, he doesn't care if you have a card or not. He's going to go by what the database says. And if it says that your registration is suspended, think twice before you just mail in that money or go to court and plead guilty, because that triggers a suspension of your license if you're convicted of that offense. So my suggestion is get a lawyer that knows what they're doing. If you fix the problem, get your tag reinstated and clear that up, and there will be a penalty fee to pay Department of Motor Vehicles. If you clear that up, most judges will reduce that so it's not a suspendable offense.
Okay, thank you, Doug. Quick answer on this one. Tom from Guyton got a ticket for speeding 76 and a 55. Is that a super speeder violation?
Maybe. Is it a two-lane roadway? If it is, it's a super speeder violation. But the officer, to be correct under the statute, he has to say that on his ticket, and they're revising the citations now to include a block where they can check it's a two-lane road. But it's a violation if it's on a two-lane road, and that's going to trigger an extra $200 from Department of Motor Vehicles.
Okay, thank you, Doug. Hope you enjoyed this show. If you'd like to leave a question, you can at 888-2037-LAW or through our website, talkinglawtv.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Talking Law TV.